And what is up, everybody? Hope you've all been doing well. Got another exciting video with this project that we did recently. This is a 2023 BMW X7 M60. Extremely nice vehicle. Funny thing about this car is we were actually supposed to do a correction and coating on this last December, so December of 2023. And client had everything booked with us, and then the dealership decided to go ahead and throw in their dealership coating for free because they had purchased so many vehicles from that dealer. Fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, client decides to bring it in for a platinum level detail and asks me to check the coating out, see everything's performing while we do the wash and the detail itself. And unfortunately, as I suspected and expected, the coating that the dealership had installed was completely dead. No beading whatsoever anymore. Wasn't even functioning. So went ahead and talked him into doing a full correction and coating. Front end already had PPF on it, so we didn't have to polish anything out on that one. But we ended up doing a full 2-step correction on this guy. Some spots it was a 1-step. Being only a year old, didn't have to do too much heavy correcting, thankfully. But we went ahead, and as you can see, there was pretty significant swirling. Wife runs it through the car wash every so often, and so we unfortunately had to get rid of those swirl marks and the damage caused from the improper washes that it had seen previously. Overall, I would say it wasn't in too bad a shape, but thankfully quick 1 and 2 step was able to take care of it. And as you can see, using our trusty Malay from Rupes, this one got a yellow wool pad, and in some spots the white wool pad from Rupes, as well as a orange HDO cutting pad from Lake Country. Awesome combination, makes it for an easy correction, really corrects out those swirls and the deep scratches or deeper scratches at times extremely easily. And then the orange pad and the white pad, as well as the yellow pad, finished down very, very nicely. So no worries there. Like I said, the paint was in pretty good shape. And just to reference, we did the prep wash and everything the day before because we had just detailed this, done a full chemical and mechanical decontamination with iron remover and clay bar treatment, and then deep clean on the wheel and tires and the rest of the paint. But like I said, the client wanted to make sure that coating was in good shape. It wasn't, so we needed to get it redone for him and do it right this time with Crystal Serum Ultra and a solid correction beforehand. Correction itself didn't take too long, thankfully, only about 3 or 4 hours, possibly 5, I can't remember. But you guys are seeing it here in less than 5 to 10 minutes, which is always nice. Makes it easy on us to demonstrate what we actually do. As you can see, paint is in pristine condition. Very, very minor swirls left over, and the only way you could have seen it is if you had multiple lights on it at a time like we did in the shop. But if you are looking at it in the sun or on a certain angle, you're never going to see the 1% of swirls or light scratching that we might leave behind, just because it's so hard to get the paint to an absolutely perfect state. I always try my best to get it as perfect as we possibly can, but sometimes the needs of the paint outweigh what the budget is for the project. Not saying that I ever skip steps or not do as good of a job as I should, because that's just not how I am. 10 times out of 10, I usually do more than I need to. Went ahead and finished up the coating and correction on there, and doing here now is getting started on the glass coating from Gtechniq. Once again, G1 clear vision smart glass, 20,000 mile or 2 years guarantee on there. If you don't have a glass coating and you live in states where there's wet weather, snow, rain, whatever it might be on a consistent basis throughout the winter or the summertime, this is an absolute must-have. If you're driving on the freeway with G1 installed, you barely have to use your wipers, and it makes vision so much clearer. G1, as you've seen in our previous videos, is a 3-step, 3-layer process. Same product, we just do it 3 different times. Swirl motion, side to side, then up and down. First 2 layers have 5 minutes in between. Last layer gets 15 minutes, which is what you just saw. We had the 15 minutes. Now we're doing the residue remover. This is only removing the leftover product that hasn't bonded to the glass, so don't stress out. We're not removing the coating. It's perfectly fine to wipe the residue remover and then a glass cleaner on here to make sure that everything is cleaned up and nice, nothing left behind, so we don't have any coating dried out or high spots left behind. Got the glass taken care of. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw down C5 on the wheel faces and as far into the barrels as we can get. These wheels had a ton of brake dust buildup and grime, even after the wheel and tire cleaning that we did yesterday or the day before we did the correction and coating. So I really had to spend some good time on each wheel, making sure that it was fully cleaned and fully ready for the C5 coating. We're using panel wipe here from Gtechniq as well. Really get those gloss black wheels cleaned up. If you are still taking your car through the automatic car wash, I challenge you to go out and look at your wheels and see how much brake dust and grime is still built up on the wheels after a wash, because if you don't have a contact wash, which is 99% of the time what doesn't happen in those automatic car washes, you're going to have that build up. And if you have high performance brakes like these BMWs, Audis, Mercedes-Benzes have these days, it builds up so quickly, and with the heat from the brakes, it just bakes on. So we got those all cleaned up. Now, as you can see, we are applying the C5. Give a generous amount onto that applicator pad, just lather it up all over these wheels. I like to use 3 rags per wheel to make sure we have no high spots left over whatsoever. When you see at the end of this video, they are extremely glossy, shiny, and they'll be super easy to clean moving forward. Now that we've got the wheels taken care of, we are going to go ahead and move on to the best of the best Crystal Serum Ultra from Gtechniq. I am proud and so honored to be able to offer this coating in my shop. It is probably the best coating on the market. It comes with a 9-year guarantee. It is tough to work with, which is why you have to be accredited to even purchase the coating. You have to have specific training. First time I did this, even after the training I had went through, was quite an experience. It was on a black Escalade. We did a full correction coating on it, and doing the Ultra for the first time, it was during winter. It was probably colder than it should have been in the shop, and unfortunately it took me about twice as long as it should have. So as you can see, I'm only doing half a panel at a time. Learned throughout the almost 4.5 years of using Crystal Serum Ultra that anything more than that on darker colored vehicles and during the winter time, even with the heater going in the shop, is just a recipe for disaster at times. You're gonna have high spots, marring, you name it. There's a couple other issues as far as just smearing and things like that that go on with the coating that make it a little bit harder to remove and really get that nice finish that we want from Crystal Serum Ultra on the paint to really give it that invisible look, that glossy mirror-like finish after we do the coating or the correction. The coating just is the cream on the top, the chef's kiss, right? So you got to make sure you have the right conditions and use the right towels. Don't do too much area at the same time, and just really take your time with Ultra. So if you are in an area that doesn't have an accredited detailer from Gtechniq, I highly recommend you reach out to Nick Bloomer. You reach out to him. Check out my dance moves. Always got to have nice tunes while you're working out in the shop. Make life fun while you're on your own working. So about I would say about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the coating, back end, tailgate. This is really that turning corner. You turn the corner on the after doing the back end to get the passenger side of the vehicle, and then the roof, and we're already almost done. So as you can see, even with the lights on, we have almost a perfect finish. This paint code, I can't remember the exact code or the color name, but inside it looks like a black, but it is probably the darkest gray I've ever seen on the market. When you get it out in the sun, it is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. There's so much flake in the paint. The clarity and the gloss is unmatched when it's been corrected and coated, and you can really see that even just inside the mirror-like finish showing the wall behind us and me and my ugly mug right there in the paint. One of these days I'll get my knee fixed and be able to bend down all the way properly and not have to show off my gut as much as I do. You know what I mean? So last panel here before we do the roof. And I wish I could work this quick in real life, because sometimes applying these coatings takes upwards of an hour, hour and a half, depending on the vehicle. And it just gets really tedious at times, but this is probably my favorite part of detailing, doing correction and coatings. If I could do correction and coatings every single day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, whatever it might be, I'd be the happiest man on the planet. Already being able to run my own business and do everything that I do within the business is a huge blessing. But if I could do coatings every day, then I'd just be even happier.
Across the world still, them colors and them logos, girl, still taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got love for the streets. It's the DRE for the gangsters all across the world still.
If you don't have a coating on your vehicle yet, and it's something that interests you, don't hesitate to reach out. I guarantee that it is one of the best investments you can make for your vehicle, keeping it cleaner for longer, shinier, glossier, and overall it's just gonna add long-term protection to your vehicle and really help you protect your investment. Now we're just getting that finished up look indoors, glossy. I mean, the gloss is amazing. Now we brought it outside. Unfortunately, the next day in the morning after this is fully cured for overnight inside the garage, we didn't have a sunny day, but as you can see, the reflections and the depth of the paint, once again you see my ugly mug there, getting the shot on the back end, is unmatched. I challenge you to reach out. Let me show you what we can do for your vehicle. Let us make your vehicle look this good. That's it. Here's another project by Pike's Detail. Amazing coating and correction. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like. We'll see you next time.